Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast, Master Random, the podcast. This episode brought to you by Dimension Systems. They are Guam's premier computer and IT consulting company, creating solutions with technology. You're looking to upgrade your business's security system. Some sketch ass people hanging out outside your business, or you just had an incident that you want to prevent from happening again. Well, guess what? They can provide security systems that keeps your property safe and most of all secure, but best of all, keeps you notified. And they've been providing services like this and support to their customers on Guam since 1987. That's about 31 years, all the way from computer networking to system integration. Dimension Systems has always been committed to offering the best IT solutions and consistently focused on you, the customer, your needs. So I've literally only scratched the surface of the services that Dimension Systems can provide. So for more info, go check out their website, dimensionsystems.com. Or go check out their Guam office at DFS Plaza in Tamuning. That is right down the street from the elementary school, but across the street. So if you know where the skate park is, the basketball court skate park, boom, right across the street is the DFS Plaza. This episode also brought to you by Mosa's Joint, located in the heart of Hagåtña City, and they are serving up the island's best local chow, music, happy hours, and all around good vibes. I think that's the most important aspect to any place, all wrapped up into one package of island solidness. You can enjoy their ever-changing lunch and dinner specials. Me personally, I'm an appetizer guy. Going to Mosa's for happy hours, and then just ordering some poo-poos, some of them appetizers. Deep fried pickles. You're gonna hear that every ad. I'm a deep fried pickles kind of guy. Check them out. Open daily, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and till 10 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. So I usually give away stuff. August has been a weirdly busy month for me, so I have a couple things to give away from them. When I come back from travels, definitely I'll start giving stuff away. This episode is also brought to you by Stroll Guam. Do me a favor, open up your phone, go to your app store and download the Stroll Guam app. And when you do so, you'll be downloading the most convenient, affordable, and safest way to get around the island. And they've also launched their delivery services, which include food delivery and document delivery. So as an added benefit of being a Master Random podcast listener, you can use the code MASTERGU and save $10 off your next ride. The only caveat is you have to have not used the code before, and you can get $10 off. A little confusion here and there with that, but Stroll Guam, it's the way to go. Wherever you're trying to be, wherever you're trying to go, they can pick you up from wherever you're at to take you there. So if you're looking for more info, visit strollguam.com. You can even become your own Stroll Guam driver. This episode is also brought to you by Tommy's Pizza Shop, located where? Hagåtña City, serving up the best New York style pizza on this island, completely made with love. Like the appetizers, I'm a pepperoni kind of guy. Simple pepperoni, maybe a mushroom, maybe some jalapenos if I'm feeling a little spicy. But it's really up to you. Shroomtown is one of their fan favorites, and the Sweet Italian. Oh gosh, how can I forget about the Sweet Italian? So go check them out on West O'Brien Drive in Hagåtña City, right here, or call to order at 922-7437 and go eat good pizza. Sponsorships done. Now, my next guest on the show, Mr. Joe Danzy. He is a rapper, hip hop artist, based out of Hayward, California. I was on on a leisure travel and found myself in San Jose. Said, oh, let me link up with someone in the Bay Area. And we've been, he was supposed to come to Guam originally. That sort of fell through. And I found myself out there and I was like, hey, man, let's do this. Let's get together. And let me tell you, he's, despite, like we talked about his history as, just being an artist and stuff like that. But the thing that struck me the most was he put into perspective for me, because I have no idea, of being a Chamorro born and raised in stateside, right? He mentioned starving. There are people who are starving to get back to the mainland being Guam. And I don't want to go too far into it. I want you to listen to it for yourself and sort of see what you can gather out of it. And whether you grew up on Guam or you grew up in the States, or you're currently living out in the States, or you're living on Guam, we have to sort of have this different perspective, because it's important for us to understand whether being Chamorro or being Guamanian, if you have roots or ties to the island. Change my perspective. Joe Danzy, man, great guy. Got to listen to some of his music and just got to talk some in-depth stuff about him. And I hope to get him on the podcast here on Guam sometime in the near future, studio style. We did it just chilling on the couch, so the recording's a little different, but still the substance is still there. And enjoy my conversation with Joe Danzy on Master Random. Check it out, This is not the normal show that I usually do. It's usually in the studio on the table in Guam, but now I find myself in Hayward, California, dude. And in your studio. And first of all, I just want to thank you for just it up, bro.
I want to thank you for coming.
If it wasn't for you to sort of hit me up during that how do I say this? Remember, it was during Cuddy's.
Yeah, Cuddy Q. Yeah, right? Cuddy Q.
And he brought you up, and then he played it, and it just blew my mind, because there's this guy from Guam with like links to Guam, right?
Yeah.
And he's playing music and singing about the island, and nobody on the island's hearing it.
Yeah.
And dude, that's what blew my mind the most. So I guess before we get to the link of Cuddy Q, what is your link to back home?
Back home, okay. So basically, I'm a Chamorro from California. My grandfather, he's a Pangasinan.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what part?
Santa Rita.
Okay.
Santa Rita, Guam. Yeah, so it goes way back from.
And how did your parents or your grandfather migrate back here?
My grandfather, he grew up out there and then moved when he was like 10 years old, because they were in the military. Okay. You know how the military is in Guam. So.
Yeah, I just finished, right? I was just telling you, my dad was in the military. I was born out in the States and moved back home. But in your case, he was out here. He basically became a man out here.
Yeah, he became an old
man out here.
Yeah, and then eventually he died. So I just felt like I needed to carry his legacy, right. So even though I'm not a Pangasinan, I'm a Pangasinan in heart.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep pushing his line. On everybody, So.
So how did you stay connected with your Guam roots?
Growing up,
right?
Yeah, growing up, everybody made the red rice, the Caliban. We would always go to my Chamorro side, all the time, Just always go there. And
do you have a lot of family out here?
Yeah, I got a lot of family out here, but everybody's like spread out, so nobody really sees each other anymore.
Yeah.
So that hurts me a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So
well, it's a little bit harder, right?
Yeah.
When you're out here in the States on Guam, dude, and
sometimes I think people are trying to get away from their
Yeah.
their family members, bro. And,
Yeah, it's all about family, you know.
but how did you like stay tied in, right? Like,
Oh, just
to Guam, if now people are spread out and you're growing up and sort of subcultures are being introduced to you, right? And how do you still keep it connected when you're no longer going to like families' houses and stuff like that?
I just love my culture,
Yeah.
and I'm proud to be a Chamorro. Proud to be half black too, though, you know.
Right.
But I just push my Chamorro side a little bit harder, and just like I said, I try to carry on my grandfather's legacy. He was Chamorro, so I feel like I just need to push it.
Was his representation, as strong as how you represent it?
He used to represent all the time.
And then
he was a real Chamorro, you know.
So that had to be back in the wait. How old are you now?
I'm 27.
Okay.
So he died when I was about like 11.
So maybe like in the 50s he moved out here, or in
the
40s.
Yeah, like the 50s.
Yeah.
60s.
Yeah.
Around that time. Yeah.
How do you, as being black and then as being Chamorro, like how do you sort of know which part of the roots you want to grab onto, and
that's a good question.
Sort of like shape yourself? Right?
Yeah. Pretty much, I just be myself, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can hear it in my music. Like, a lot of people tell me, like, oh, you need to incorporate more of the language in the music. And I get criticized for that a little bit, you know. But I don't take that to heart, you know what I'm saying? I just take it, goes in one ear and out the other, you know.
And this is like critics, like from
like from like everywhere, you know. I don't know where they're coming from, you know. Like I don't care, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna do me regardless, you know. So, but I'm gonna start incorporating more of the language. I don't incorporate a lot of the language because I don't really know the language like that, you know. So
well, you're not. I mean, you being out here, you're not alone though. It happens. It's like more prevalent in Guam too.
Yeah, like especially with my family, like dying when I'm young. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really get them to like teach me the language and talk to me in the language and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just different. I had to learn it on my own.
Right.
Like so.
How much of the culture did you have to like go beyond now?
I did a lot of studying.
Yeah.
Like I just looked back into it. I just read some books, watched a couple videos. I follow a lot of people on Guam on Instagram, so I just feel I live their life.
Isn't that the power though of of social media, even though it has bad sides? Like, dude, now we can all connect to each other, bro, and it's so fucking trippy, bro.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in that sort of gray area between when there was no internet to the like kind of internet, and then DSL.
Mm-hmm.
You're still able to webcam. I used to webcam my cousin every day for like few hours playing online computer games and stuff. And now today, you just pick up your phone. You're like, hey, before we started, I was like, hey, dude, I just need to send my cousin a birthday message real quick, dude. And it's as easy as that. And that guy's in Guam, and I'm out here like 7,000 miles away.
Technology is powerful.
Oh, dude. And the connection. What connection are you finding with now the music that you're making and the music that's being made in Guam? Like, how much has it grown since social media has allowed us to be that way?
So really, like, without social media, I would have really never like heard of anybody from Guam. Like, honestly, like I know of like Chris Boomer and like Pia Mia, but like
Chris Boomer kind of blew up out there in the radio world.
But other than that, like I never heard of nobody. And then I started seeing on Instagram, I started seeing Jed like everywhere. So I was like, let me follow him. Let me see what he's talking about.
Yeah. So this had to be fairly recently, because I know Jed's
I started
Came out
following
with the
maybe
low-
about like
when did the low
last
come out?
year,
Yeah.
like last year.
Yeah.
And then I like his style. Like he kind of reminded me of like G-Eazy. Like
You know what?
Like
My lady said that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
So-
like, he has that really Bay Area sound.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, and he's lyrical, you know.
Extremely.
Me, I'm not really like a lyrical artist. Like I'm more so like, how do I put this? Like I'm just having fun. I enjoy doing this music, you know.
So does it become more about the beats than and the production
Maybe-
than the lyrics?
That's a good question. I mean, it's like more so like I'm selling myself.
Right.
Like
As a producer of music and
yeah, just
And as an artist, right?
Yeah. So yeah.
and it's okay. Where do we sort of leave off at? So bridging the gap, connecting music, and Jed. Okay, yeah. So now that you have sort of this expanded view on like what Guam music is,
Mhm.
you've experienced this the rap and hip hop subculture being out here,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then social media comes and it's like woof, like a whirlwind.
Yeah.
Like now it's changing your perception. Have you always wrote about Guam, or is that like something that?
Yeah, I had a couple of tracks like a long time ago that I wrote about Guam and stuff, but it wasn't really like anything that I was like pushing or nothing. But like now, that's all I talk about,
Right.
you know. So, like I left that life behind me. I mean, we could get into details.
Yeah.
about it or whatever,
Okay. So
you know.
when did music come into your life?
So music. So I used to, when I was in high school, I used to like make a lot of beats and stuff,
Mhm.
and I used to sell beats, whatever.
And did this come from like influence within the household?
Yeah.
or-
So my father, he's actually a DJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's-
there it is, bro.
He's
Yeah.
known around Hayward and stuff, you know.
Okay.
He does like clubs and stuff. But yeah, so I actually started off being a DJ first. He had bought me my own turntable and stuff, so I started doing that, doing like little high school parties and stuff.
Right.
And then my cousin introduced me to Fruity Loops.
I've heard of Fruity Loops.
So I
yeah.
started making beats and stuff, and then I was hella weak, like garbage. You know what I'm saying? When I first started, but I started progressing, and then the sound became like there, you know, and I was a producer, like straight producer, no rapping, nothing. And then I felt like, why have these other artists rapping on my beats when I could just rap on them myself? And then I started making music.
Right.
And then from there on, started making tracks. I was just talking about the streets and living life in the streets, because growing up in the Bay Area, you know, it's hard.
Yeah.
People
I
struggle.
have no clue. Yeah.
You know, violence, all that type of stuff, you know? So
Were
it's
you,
like...
were you surrounded by that?
Yeah,
a
I
lot?
was definitely surrounded by all that. And then I was trying to get away, you know? Like, I sold drugs, and, like, I really been through that life, you know?
So it's more like a natural, like... just
Yeah, growing
being
up in the Bay Area, it's like it's gonna be pretty, especially in the hood. You know, it's
Okay.
gonna be natural. You know, I grew up in South Hayward, in California. You know, and it's a terrible place. You know, but I love that place because that's where I'm from.
Right,
But
right.
you know, it's just hard growing up there.
And that's how your music sort of developed
It
off
developed off that
right?
experience. I used to talk about that and just like being in the streets and all that, and then. You know, when I turned 21, I put that life behind me. I was like, you know what,
For what
I ain't
reason?
doing. I just felt like giving it up. Like, I ain't doing this shit no more. I don't want to sell drugs no more. I don't want to do this shit for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this music shit. So since 21, I started just doing this music shit
So that
full
was
time.
about 5-6 years ago?
6 years ago. I just started really doing the music, producing. I was producing like big hits for people out here in the Bay Area and stuff. And then I just, you know, I was still rapping and stuff, but I wasn't really like taking it like
Right.
serious, and I was like better producer. But then like it hit me like maybe about 3 years ago, like, you know what, I'm about to start repping my culture in my music, because that's me, that's who I am, you know what I'm saying? So then I started talking about Guam. I had like little songs here and there, But then just like maybe last year, I started like blowing up off the Guam songs, you know what I'm saying? So then I just like kept it lit, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what they want to hear. That's what they want to hear from Joe Danzy. That's what I'm going to give you.
Right.
So, yeah.
And it's pretty amazing what you've, at least the way you've evolved your music to create a representation of what you want, what you want your life to reflect, not off of.
Yeah, I don't want to bring up the past. Is what's happening now, you know.
Yeah, and what holds it so strong now?
I don't know. I love my culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love my culture.
So
I get so much love from people, just Chamorros in general, you know. Like, I got a lot of Chamorros following me.
Out here, mainly, are there a lot of Chamorros out here?
There's hella Chamorros in the States, in the Bay Area alone, too.
How many do you estimate, or do you think?
At least 20,000 Chamorros.
Yeah, I've heard there's about upwards of 20,000.
But like a lot of Chamorros are mixed.
Okay.
You know, so
I mean,
there's not really a lot of.
Don't worry, bro. A lot of Chamorros back home too. They're all mixed too. Yeah. So
it's like, you know.
that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when the world sort of becomes flat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and airplanes and shit like that.
Yeah, I even seen I follow a couple of people, like I said, on Instagram. I seen there's a lot of black people on Guam.
Yeah, man.
I was like, damn, I fit in just fine, you know?
People don't know, dude.
I don't have Chamorros, so shit.
Black people have been in Guam since like the 1800s because
shit, some of them look black.
There were Mexicans. There were Mexicans in Guam. There were Native Americans in Guam. There were Filipinos, of course. Mm-hmm. Spanish, Europeans, bro. People went through that place, bro. Yeah. And when people got there, they're like, shit, I'm staying. And for some reason, that continues to happen today, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people or have met people who I think there's an Irish guy I met on the beach. I came here for 3 months for a job. I've been here 30 years. I was like, it makes sense. It makes sense that when Guam sort of gives off that vibe, it's easy, but like I told you earlier, you know,
the people,
it's easy
they show nothing but love.
Yeah, but on Guam it's easy to become lazy because now you're in that island paradise. Like shit,
I don't need to do nothing.
I don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my friend just last night and said, out here it forces you, you know, the lifestyle, the culture.
You ain't got no choice.
You have no choice.
You gotta pay your rent, get your bills done.
Yeah,
you know?
And if you're not gonna do shit, then
you ain't gonna survive.
You ain't gonna survive. It's gonna eat you alive.
Yeah. It's the state life.
but on Guam,
and that's like even with people. You know, like you got your people that try to take advantage of you. You got your people that are cool. You know, you just gotta survive. You know?
Right.
So, yeah.
There's it's a good time for you to be immersing yourself into the culture, man. There's been this cultural renaissance ever since Festpac, I feel like, and you hear it in multiple conversations that Festpac sort of fueled this renaissance for people to get to know their culture, right, and understand where Chamorro people came from, and how we evolved into the people today, where now a lot of us are mixed breeds.
Yeah.
You know? But maybe one of the only places in the whole world where people are attached to a place because of its culture.
Yeah.
Because of what it represents.
Yeah.
For centuries, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I mean, that whole welcoming aspect of what Guam is and sharing and helping each other out, it's evolved from that sort of clan or tribal-like part of the culture to now adapting to the modern day, where now we're in social media days, where now you can share your music with people on Guam can share your music with you, and you showed me a few tracks where you're already making music with people from
I'm working with a lot of people from Guam right
and
now.
you never step foot on the island.
Yeah.
You know, that's
social media is powerful.
Something that maybe you never even foresaw in your music.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I would have, if social media wasn't out, I would have never did a song with like anybody from Guam probably, you know. I would have never knew.
Yeah.
To even like, oh, they listen to rap there? Like, you know,
really?
like, you know,
what did you think we listened to, man?
Like,
Island music, Hawaiian music,
like reggae,
reggae.
You know, island reggae.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started seeing like a lot of hip hop. So
and there's a big a strong subculture, and it's getting stronger. They throw these underground shows of just allowing these artists to express themselves. Yeah. Jared throws the night show.
Yeah.
And the Black Party, and it's been an avenue for a lot of other coming artists.
Me and him actually been talking, trying to get some
make something happen.
Yeah, make something happen. Get on one of those shows out there.
Yeah, I mean it's as simple as just coming out there.
Yeah.
I mean you've made the connection.
Yeah, I was supposed to do the PNB show.
Right.
I was actually supposed to do it, but some other stuff had happened, so I had to.
I know. I was. What was it? It was in May. You contacted me, right?
Yeah.
And by June, you're like, "Oh shit, dude!"
Yeah.
I was like, "Shit!" I just sort of mentioned this guy on the podcast.
Yeah.
Now I'm about to interview him.
Yeah.
Dude, this is dope.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, some bullshit that happened, but you know, we here now.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take it step by step.
So what's the plan for you as far as like earlier we talked a lot about bridging gaps, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with my podcast alone, I'm trying to bridge the gap of people who want to know what's going on in Guam
mm-hmm.
and what people are talking about,
mm-hmm.
right? I mean, in a raw way, something sort of like this, right?
Yeah.
And the same thing can be done with music. I mean, possibly the same thing can be done with any art form.
Yeah, definitely.
With the use of technology, right?
With the music, like, so what we really need to do is bridge like the States with Guam, you know? Like, so we need to get these Guam artists heard on the States and the state artists heard on Guam, you know?
How do you know of many like Chamorro hip hop artists or rap artists?
In the States?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you got like Cho Rambo, he's dope. He's from like Atlanta.
Okay.
He's dope. You got Rico Swain.
Okay, I've heard of Rico Swain.
He's from North Carolina. You got my boy Marty Obey. He's from Vallejo, from out here in the Bay Area. You got Macho. He's from like Texas. There's a lot of state.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of state artists. There's a lot like. They bringing heat too,
and just like you, not realizing there was artists on Guam.
Yeah,
like, dude, I didn't even realize
there's a whole bunch of artists on Guam too.
Out of the 5 that you mentioned, I've only heard of 1. So.
Yeah, and they're all dope. Like I said, you know, there's a lot of people on Guam too, though. You got Jed. You got he just started the Straight Up.
Yeah, with
boys.
Trips and Only One.
Yeah, dope. Jayville. Yeah. You got J Alpha.
Yeah.
You know, who else? Who else is making noise right now? It's a lot of people. I know I'm forgetting somebody though.
Yeah. I know Meta's out here. He's a rapper.
Yeah, I heard of him too. He's dope. He's lyrical.
Right. And I think he does some like poetry out here, slam poetry stuff.
Yeah, he's
like
dope.
That, right?
He's dope. And then you got your producers. You know, you got producers out here. That's Chamorro. You got Chemo. He's from Vegas. He's been making a lot of my beats.
Have you linked those gaps though already?
Yeah, definitely, man. I made a song with Jed. I made a song.
No, but at least the artists out here in the States.
Oh, like did a song with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've worked with a lot of state artists too. Like me and Rico got a song. Marty Obey, me and him got a song. Cho Rambo, like everybody I name, I got a song with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
maybe except for Macho, but we got something coming.
Right. So So now that you're sort of like creating this collective on Guam, and now the collective is sort of being created back home, I know there's a lot of up and coming young hip hop artists. I don't know them by name. I mean, just the ones that I've had on my podcast. You know? And now, do you use sort of a digital medium to like share across the platforms, and how do you get people to listen
definitely
to it?
So like they just need to like with music you're gonna have to have money, you know. Like if you want to like really do this shit, you gotta have the money. But I mean, there's always gonna be somebody that believes in you to back you or whatever. But I feel like the Guam artists, they just need to come out to the States and show everybody what they got.
It's not that easy though.
It's not.
You know?
It's not.
I mean,
it's very expensive to do that.
Looking
you know?
at a $2,000 ticket every time.
Yeah.
You know, when 4-piece travels out here, you know, it's easy for a band out here to stay on the circuit year round and do it, but for a band like 4-piece who's based out of Guam, making their music out of Guam, just getting them out there with their equipment is like, it's tough, right? And it's like an extra cost on top of already that's a cost just to get to the places that you need to go. So
it's all a sacrifice, you know. It's all a sacrifice.
Yeah, dude, I'm glad they have been consistent over the last 3 years of coming out here and really spreading their music and spreading their vibes, dude.
That's how you do it, you know. I mean, that's really how you do it. And that's with my music. I need to go to Guam and spread my music and let them know what I'm talking about and let them hear, you know, what I got going.
Yeah,
you know?
Dude, literally, give yourself a month. Go out there for a whole month, bro. Just put yourself out there every single day. Whether you're passing out mixtapes at
man, I'll go to open mics or whatever, you know. I'll perform at whatever, you know. I love performing. That's like one thing I love with this music stuff is performing.
Have you always been sort of like a outspoken or expressive person?
Yeah. I've always been like in all my groups, like kicking it with people. I always been like the top dog. Just
the most outspoken. But I guess with performing, you know, where did sort of that come from to
performing? So basically, I used to get nervous and stuff, you know, like performing, and then I had a show in Seattle. That was my first out-of-state show, and then I was actually pushing the Chamorro music. Like I had this other song called Island Girl. I had Islander song, and then I performed that shit, and they was loving it. I was like, God damn. But I gave a good performance though. Like that was one of those performances where I was just like, you know what, I'm about to kill this shit. I'm in a whole nother state. I'm about to kill this shit.
Yeah.
It was a 15-minute set too. So, you know, I performed like maybe like 5 songs.
Yeah, go hard on that 15
hard,
minutes.
and they was fucking with me. I had a lot of people come up to me after the show like, hey, I fuck with your music, blah, blah, blah. And that was the time where I wasn't even like really an established artist. Like, I didn't have no flyers on me or no business cards or nothing. But now, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
And you don't necessarily need a label to...
Nah, independent.
To push yourself.
Yeah, independent.
Put yourself
I'm my own manager,
there.
everything.
Yeah.
So, producer, mix and master my own music. I got my video man, Jay Lace. That's my little cousin. Like, he's actually related to me. Like, that's like one of my second cousins. So,
just like you, my cousin cousin helps me, bro. It's
so he actually just started shooting videos this year. So he shot the Guam Boys video. He
looks good. It
did
looks
the Too Lit video.
The production, bro, is really high quality.
Yeah. He just started shooting.
And it does have that sort of rap and hip hop feel to it, you know? The car, fucking sort of the way the camera moves out of it.
Yeah, he's dope. He be making shit happen.
So what's your plans like moving forward?
We're just gonna push the Chamorro line and just blow up all over the world. We're just gonna blow up. I just feel like, you know, all the artists though, not just me. I want all the artists to blow up. Like Jed, I want everybody. You know, I just want everybody to eat. Cause like I said, when you say Guam, where's Guam? Like people be like, where's Guam? I never heard of Guam.
Well, dude,
They gonna know now.
Well, maybe back in 2005, man, when I first went out to Arizona, dude, it was like a problem. You know, it's like every single person you go to, they're like, "Where's that at?"
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Where the hell's that at? And but now, I guess with Guam being in the news with North Korea, and,
Yeah. Everybody wants.
everybody like
Yeah.
everyone's like, now you have Google. I was like, what the fuck is Guam?
Yeah, where's Guam? It's
You know?
fucking beautiful ass
And shit,
place.
dude, we used to get excited when they mention Guam in a movie or a TV show, right? And now I think that we no longer have to tell people where Guam is.
Yeah.
We get to show people what Guam is about.
And what we're about as a culture.
There, no need to prove anything, but just be like, okay, now you know who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Here we
This is
go.
where we have to go.
Here it is.
Yeah, this is what we have to show you.
And I'm a true believer in that the arts is the personality of any culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the way it's evolved over the last 10 years, I mean, not to discredit anybody who has made music prior to the last 10 years, but the biggest changes I feel like has come in the last 10 years. Because now, back home, we had more access to the internet.
Yeah.
We weren't like depending on encyclopedias to fucking do our research or like figure out what a place is about.
Yeah.
Now we just type in something or type in a keyword, say hip hop, and everything of hip hop into Google. Now you get like fucking 52 million hits, bro, in 0.00386 seconds, bro.
Yeah.
And now you have an entire library, more information than you can ever want on any kind of subculture and any kind of music.
Yeah.
And it's changed Guam, bro.
Yeah.
It's changed the music.
I seen that.
It's
Like I've heard like some old songs. I don't remember the exact artist, but like I've heard the music progress.
yeah, man. So music was more changing, and what Hawaiian music too is changing country music into sort of that island feel. And
I seen
there's
there's a lot of hip hop on Hawaii right now.
Yeah,
A lot.
back in like the 50s, people were. That's what people were recording. So yeah, you had your original music, but a lot of it had that country twang to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And because that's the kind of music that was brought with the Americans in Guam, right?
Yeah.
You like have these Chamorro kids, like you teach them how to play music, and now you have like a Chamorro band, right? And don't quote me on that history. That's just like a generalized thought on how music anywhere could possibly develop is influence from the outside. Other than that, we'll be playing the Bilibin Tudsin.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 right? So, and now that we can hear any artist or any kind of music that we want in any part of the world, now you're just hearing shit you've never heard ever on Guam.
Yeah. You got from what I've seen, you got your hip hop, your EDM, your rock. Just pretty much whatever you hear out here, you hear there.
Yeah. And you have DJs who are producing some mad shit, dude. And the DJ scene is that culture is a little different as far as like with like country music and stuff, because that's its own conversation. Just the progression of the DJs who sort of started DJing in Guam. I had a couple of like the older generation DJs, Ronnie Perez, and Jojo Camacho, and then I had DJ Pogi on the podcast too, right? And it's like that sort of progression in music and the way they sort of changed their subculture. But all in all, music's one and the same, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Just to contradict exactly what I'm saying, but it's cool, and that's why I said earlier it's a good time for you to like immerse yourself into it, because that cultural renaissance. People are starting to be like, okay, what is Guam? People who sort of never been to Guam or don't really know what the culture is about, they want to know. People people are yearning to know.
Yeah, we definitely want to know. You know, we
like,
want to go
outside
there
of the fucking books, right? And immerse yourself into the culture. It's still there, and you'll find it from everybody, not just Chamorros.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find it from every different ethnicity that has made their life there.
Yeah.
Whether they be Chamorro, black, white, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Thai, whoever. That sort of culture, that culture that Guam exudes of itself, that Guam exudes, it's you still find it. Yeah. I don't know. And people are willing to take you in more.
Yeah.
Because now there's an appreciation for our culture coming from all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
From people who have been there, who grew up there, but now have lived out here for the last 10, 15 years, right?
Yeah.
Or have never been there, or has never been there, then went there and now is currently there for the last 20 years or the last 10 years. I mean, there's always time, right?
Yeah.
You can spend 3 years.
You can always go.
Yeah,
You can always go. Yeah, I definitely plan on doing that real soon.
Yeah. It's really cool to be able to be out here and sit out here and with the medium that I sit on, right? I'm not exactly music, but I can still tie you into what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And with Instagram Live, with the camera that I brought and my audio gear, and just like that, we've connected. We've made that another link.
Networking.
And it's gonna be super important. I feel like our mission is both the same. You know, the way you want to connect Guam and the way I want to connect you, the way you want to connect to Guam and the way I want to connect to the States.
Yeah. And by us just doing this, people from the States are gonna see this. And now they're going to know who Master Random is, and people from Guam are going to see this and know who Joe Danzy is. So,
right.
You know, networking.
It's fucking crazy, bro. And I don't know where this podcast is gonna like take me or what the journey is, but shit, dude, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I've never been to Hayward.
Yeah.
Never drove out here. Never been in this area of this part of California, and yet I find myself here sitting on your couch in your studio where we were listening to tracks that with people who I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
You know, like their sound.
Yeah.
It's fucking mind blowing.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Really mind blowing.
Yeah.
And
I'm surprised too. I'm here with somebody from Guam, you know. Like, fuck, you know. It still hasn't hit me. Like, you know.
How often does that happen, right? Like,
yeah.
You know. It doesn't, and it's forceful connection. You know, I mean, not forceful in a bad way, but it took us.
Yeah. It's either I was gonna come out there or you was gonna come out here.
Right.
That's the only way you can make something happen, you know.
Right.
So.
And there was no way I was gonna come to the States and not do one podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I knew this one, bro.
Yeah.
And that's really the coolest thing that I feel like is happening for at least my show, right? And now we can sort of share the experiences with each other.
Yeah.
Of what it's gonna take to really bridge the gap.
Yeah.
That there's an obvious disconnect, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Know?
But you know,
and maybe there's haters on Guam, but maybe there's haters out here.
Yeah, they're everywhere. It's haters everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Everywhere, right?
Shit, I be laughing at some of the comments people leave on my shit, like on the YouTube videos and shit. I be like, these motherfuckers. They be like, you're not repping the culture right. Oh, this is making Guam look bad. But they gotta look at my aspect. Like, I'm from the States. I'm not from Guam, you know. I don't know how you guys live. This is how Chamorros live in California or in the States, wherever you're from, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to give y'all the state aspect of how Chamorros are. For yeah.
No. I feel like you're onto a really fucking good point, dude. Because it's sort of that maybe a blinder or one-sidedness of this is the way Chamorro should be.
They feel like maybe the old school traditional,
right?
Like if you're from Guam, you should be like the older generation, you know. But this is reality, you know. Everybody's out there doing whatever they're doing, so just be you, rep your culture,
the way you want
to do that shit, you know. So
yeah. One thing that I don't like are gatekeepers. Bro.
If you're Chamorro, you're Chamorro.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
And if you want to rep it, then rep it.
Yeah. If you don't, that's fine with you.
But you know, like I said, you rep Guam harder than people that live there. You know?
I have to, you know. Like I said, I'm trying to push the Pangolin bloodline, you know.
Yeah.
So I have to, man. You know.
Man, dude, I kind of want to expand on the thought that, you know, like, of what you said. You know, it's because it's real.
Yeah.
It's a real issue because now there are statesider Chamorros that it's like an evolved form of the culture, but yet still hold the same basic values of what it means to be a Chamorro, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you learned it. You know, you've eaten the food or like
I love red rice. Red rice.
Or like experience the culture in its own way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how long did you experience your grandfather before he passed away?
Oh, I was with him every day.
See?
He'd take me fishing, fucking Toys R Us. I'll skip school, go to Toys R Us, go get hella toys. Even though he didn't even have it like that, he still would, you know.
How much did he share with you? You know, how much of the culture?
He would just always just talk to me and just...
Was he a storyteller?
Yeah, he would tell stories and whatnot. And then not even just him, though. Like my great-grandma, his mom, she used to babysit me, and she used to just talk just Chamorro.
Wait, so did she move out here?
Yeah, she lived out here. She used to live with us for like a long time, and then she passed away before my grandfather. And then, no, actually, she passed away after because she moved to Washington. She ended up moving to Washington.
Damn, your great-grandmother. I never met my great-grandmother.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's ingrained in you, right? You grew up as a Chamorro.
Yeah.
You know what it is to be a Chamorro and what the values of a Chamorro are because... Yeah, your grandfather.
And then I grew up with my black side too, though.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So it's like, you know, it's split, you know? So, I mean, it's different, you know? So, like...
and of course, the way you represent the culture is going to be different from the way it's represented on the farm, right?
Yeah, of course. Because like I said, I'm from the States. I'm from the Bay Area, you know? So it's like...
That's what you know.
Yeah. That's what I know.
Represent, right?
Yeah.
Mind blown, bro. I'm completely mind blown. Because, like I told you, I don't think I've ever interviewed someone, besides maybe Zach Banner, right? But at least sort of on the artist side, right? On the music side of... Because now you're representing the culture within a subculture, which is hip hop and rap music.
Yeah.
And
you got hip hop and rap music, and then you got Guam.
And it changes the dynamic of what the culture is because now there's this sort of influence coming from the outside of what you were taught culture is. Or the culture is. Right?
Yeah. Like, Guam's always been in me, you know. I just started expressing myself now, you know. It's always been in me, though. But now, I'm just sharing it with the world. Letting them know. Pretty much.
Damn, dude. Mind blown, bro. I didn't expect that to come out of the conversation. Honestly, dude. Because it's real shit.
Yeah.
It's real shit, and you're sort of getting hate for it.
Yeah.
You know, from people that's never even met you before, don't even know what you're about, right?
I don't even care about it though. Like, I just let it go. I ain't tripping. Like I said, I'm gonna do me regardless.
Yeah.
So, you gonna like me or you're not. If you don't like me, don't follow me. It's just the way
if you
it
don't
goes.
like what I represent, don't follow me.
Exactly. I mean, that's the easiest way to say it.
Yeah, seems like. Joe, oh my goodness, bro. I guess you're changing my whole perspective. That not only is music evolving on Guam, but it's evolving out here too.
Yeah.
For people who are out here. Dude.
Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of artists out here that's like,
but not only in the
starving to get to Guam, you know,
like hip hop and rap scene, but also maybe playing reggae music,
R&B, whatever you do, you know. There's a lot of people, you know, even with like graffiti, whatever you do, they're just trying to get to the, you know, to the mainland.
The mainland.
Get their shit.
Because on Guam we call out here the mainland.
Nah, that's the mainland. You feel me? That's the mainland. That's where motherfuckers need to be, you know. So.
Yeah. Do you think there's a lot of, like you mentioned, there are people who are starving to be out there?
Mm-hmm.
In starving in what way? Just to like experience know what it
even
is?
A performance, just being out there in general, you know, just feel the vibe of the culture, like the real culture, you know.
Right. Not just what you've read in the books and what was shown to you.
With me, that's what I'm trying to experience. I want to go out there. I don't even want to go out there just for music, you know. I want to go out there, feel the vibe from everybody.
Yeah.
Get that real culture, know how the Chamorros really, you know, represent themselves, and take it back to the States with me, talk about it. Because then I experienced it, you feel me?
Yeah.
Even the things I talk about now, I experienced, you know, I got the track called Chamorrita. Like my girl right now, she's full Chamorro, you know, so, you know.
You're not far off.
Yeah,
You're just
I'm talking about everything I'm rapping about. I'm really living, you know.
Yeah.
So,
you're not just.
Yeah.
You're just not faking the funk.
Yeah. Can't do that. Can't do that. I can even show y'all a couple of tracks on the podcast, whatever, you know.
Yeah. There was something that came up in another podcast episode where. Now you don't even have to be here. I mean, just look at Zach Banner, right? To give back.
Mm-hmm.
Be here to give back to Guam.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's what a lot of people who are out here want to at least do.
Oh, yeah, for
How
sure.
can I give back to the island? And in this day and age, there was some like Twitter shit going on. Twitter's crazy, bro. I don't know if you've seen Guam Twitter.
I don't even use Twitter.
In the last episode with the Straight Up crew, we talked about Guam Twitter, bro.
I don't use Twitter or Snapchat.
No, man. I feel like I'm a little older for Twitter to like really understand what it is, but I'm not that old, right? But I still don't really know how to use it.
Yeah.
But the shit I read on it, I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah,
like, dude, how do people come out of this?
Shit.
And one of the things that was on Guam was, if you're not here on Guam, then why are you representing Guam? You know?
Damn.
And I was like, damn, that's some fucked up shit, dude. And I had to like put like sort of my like 2 cents on it.
Yeah.
You know, like my own tweet and stuff, because everybody has to do their own thing. And now you can do some things on Guam, but not all things.
Yeah.
Not all things can allow you to become stuff. Like if you want to become a doctor, you can't do it on Guam, dude. You know, you have to come out to the States and get that experience and that education that the U.S. provides, right? But like an artist, maybe it's a little different, you know, or a businessman or an entrepreneur. You can do it on Guam, but also you can do it out in the States. You're just changing ponds, right?
Yeah.
And just the fact that was a debate was wrong. You know, because
that's crazy.
Everybody has to do their own, and this is people talking about people who grew up on Guam but haven't been to Guam in years.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
You left Guam and come back. Why are you representing?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, yeah. If you ain't giving back though, that's a whole different ball game. You know what I'm saying? But
it doesn't.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It
though.
doesn't necessarily have to be. It doesn't necessarily have to give back, physically or monetarily.
Yeah, just put your island on the map. Talk about it, be about it.
Yeah,
live it.
I think it was Dr. Mike Bavacqua that said that he was talking to someone, and in the military, Guam is the only place that's represented as much as it is. With like, you go into someone from Guam's room, it looks exactly like this.
Yeah.
Guam flags fucking everywhere. Yeah. The island.
Yeah.
I just came from New Hampshire and took my sister there, and the first thing we put up was a Guam flag.
Yeah.
To represent.
Yeah.
Zach Banner.
Yeah, everybody loves their Guam flag.
Yeah, dude.
Everybody. You'll see it on cars or everything.
Put on my arm right here, bro. It's like, it's crazy.
Yep.
It's really.
It's not even necessarily the flag; it's the seal.
Yeah. But it's not necessarily the seal. It's the
the culture.
The culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
But who is to define what the culture is now, right?
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
Because it's like, it's evolved.
Yeah.
It's completely evolved. Possibly turned itself on its head, and now it's doing head spins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, my opinion, if you're a Chamorro artist or just a Chamorro in general, trying to do whatever you're trying to do, and you're from wherever you're from, you should always give back, and that's but it actually really depends on, like, if you're established, like PME or whatever, she for sure should get back,
Yeah.
But because I already know that's what you was talking about, you know what I'm saying?
No.
But yeah, she should for sure give back. But I mean, that's just a whole different situation.
Yeah, but her representation is sort of different, right?
Yeah.
That's not the particular situation I was talking about. It was literally like a fucking debate.
Oh, okay.
Like people were tweeting about. I was like, why is this even a debate?
Yeah.
Everybody, people have to come out here for different reasons.
Yeah.
And they're not necessarily only going to the United States. Some people are going to Philippines, Japan, Australia, Europe. It's happening all over the place for people to go out of Guam to go pursue what they want to do, and to give people hate for doing that. I mean, I spent 5 years outside of Guam, and it helped me grow into the person that I am.
Like I said, state living is a whole different. You learn other shit, that you don't learn on Guam. But on Guam, they're probably doing the same shit too, but just a whole different way.
On a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
That's some real shit, dude.
Yeah.
It's honest.
Yeah. Give back to your island. Straight up. Even if I blow up, I'm giving back to Guam. Even though I ain't from Guam, I'm giving back. I'm gonna give back to Hayward too, though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, give back to your island.
And it's very interesting how you say it, though.
Yeah.
Because you know you're not from Guam.
Yeah.
But you are Guam in a way.
Yeah.
Like what is the right word to use then? Right? Because you're from Guam. No.
I don't know what they call that.
No, bro. It's weird, dude.
Guamanian? Shit, I don't know. Because then that's a debate too. They be like, what's a Guamanian, what's a Chamorro?
Yeah,
so
right,
that's a whole different...
Well, okay, so a Chamorro is more of a bloodline.
Yeah.
Right? And a Guamanian is more of a, now like a nationality, even though we're not a nation. Right? That's what you call a person who would reside from Guam, no matter your ethnicity.
Yeah.
So you'd be a Guamanian.
Okay.
If you're residing in Guam, and just like how you'll be a Californian.
Yeah.
If you're living in California, right? So, it's very interesting. I mean, not in a bad way though. It's because you say you're not from Guam.
Yeah.
But technically, Damn, I guess the word's not in my vocabulary to sort of describe what you are, right? I mean, you're a Chamorro.
Yeah, I'm a Chamorro from California.
From California. Not from Guam.
Yeah.
But you're still a Chamorro.
Yeah.
And you're still repping it.
Yeah.
And you still love
My ancestors are from Guam. So it's in me.
Right.
So.
That's deep, bro.
Yeah.
That's deep. It is in you, bro.
Yeah, it's in me. So I'm from Guam, but I'm from California. You know? You know what I'm saying? Straight up, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Cool, man.
That's you know.
It's killer. This is a killer conversation, bro. Just because it's a different dynamic. I'm so used to talking to people who are on Guam, right? Who know Guam in the way I know Guam. But now having this conversation with you, knowing Guam in a different way than I know it, it's an interesting connection that we can still make because of it.
Yeah.
Joe, thank you, bro. Thank you for first of all letting me set up in your your studio here.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it was 30 minutes away from where I was at, and this was eye-opening conversation as far as what needs to be done to bridge the gap.
Yeah.
The obvious disconnect. One of now who I like to call a friend. I met him for the first time. He also grew up out here. His name's Jay, and he came to Guam for the first time last month in all his life.
Probably turned up.
In his 30s, bro. And he has a new appreciation for what the island is.
Oh yeah.
And my conversation with him was, I want to give back. I want to bridge the gap. There's a disconnect. People, and just like you said, dude, people are starving to go home, to go to the mainland, right? Yeah. and no one's feeding the fire, except people far and few between. I mean, maybe the people I've met. I met Jay through the podcast, and he just listens to it. Yeah. He came to Guam, we met up, and I was just like, fuck, I feel like I know you. Yeah. Yeah. And it's cool, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. I feel like people would accept you, definitely. I mean, not that you need acceptance, right? But if you're worried about your music not being taken there's all kinds of different kinds of music happening on Guam, bro. People are making everything, dude. And I hope to fucking see you there one day.
Yeah, bro. You're gonna see me real soon.
See you at the venue.
Something.
The venue is like a popular
little club, nightclub, right?
So it's like
they got a thing every Friday.
It's like a reggae band. It's like a small bar.
Okay.
So it's where everyone hangs out. And has their first drink before they go to Tumon. Okay. Or their first 5 or 10 drinks before they go to Tumon.
Dropping on the beach.
Yeah, man. But yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah. I didn't expect to be out here, and I wanted to jump on the opportunity to actually sit down and talk to you. Yeah. I'm glad I did.
Yeah. When you seen my video that first time, I was shocked too. I had to repost it. You feel me? Like, oh, he looked shocked though. Like, dude, he's like, what the fuck?
Dude, I was extremely shocked, bro. Like, this guy's from Guam? Cuddy, how the hell do you know this guy before I know this guy?
Cuddy tapped in on Instagram. Like a lot of the people in Guam that I'm cool with now, I met on Instagram. Like Kai, Crook, what's his name? The one that throws the shows, Jay Paradise. Yeah. Jay off of all the artists, I was just tapping in, just DMing them. Yeah. Like, what's up? I'm a Chamorro artist from California, trying to get my music heard, blah, blah, blah. And then they just started fucking with me, so. Now we got like, you know, cool relationships.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And
I bridged the gap.
it's bridged the fucking gap.
Gap, bro.
Dude,
So,
thank you.
know.
Yeah. So thank you. I can't say thank you enough, dude. This is sort of your opportunity in the show to like put out anything you want. How do people follow you?
Oh yeah.
Where can they listen to your shit?
So you could actually just go to One Stop Shop. You could go to joedanzy.com, JOEDANZY.com. You can follow me on Instagram at JOE.DANZY. And then I got a whole bunch of music on SoundCloud. You just type in Joe Danzy Music. I got stuff on Spotify. Just type in Joe Danzy, iTunes, all that. So go check me out on YouTube, all my videos. Like them, subscribe, all that. You know?
Anyone you want to shout out to?
Shout out all my Chamorro people.
I love it, bro.
There's too many of them to name.
Thank you, brother.
Shout out All Nesian Division. They stay keeping me laced with the clothes, though. I got to give them a shout out.
Yeah.
I have to.
Maybe next podcast we'll talk about now bridging not only Chamorro.
Hopefully by the next podcast we already blown up. And we don't even got to talk about bridging the gap. The gap's already bridged, you know. So hopefully that, you know.
But I feel like you've taken the right step forward.
Yeah.
Into making it happen.
Cause really, what I seen there was really no artists in the States like pushing the Chamorro culture, so I took advantage of that.
Right.
And just, you know,
sort of ran with it.
Now I got people listening to my music on Guam. They show me nothing but love, and I love that shit. That's why I just keep doing it. I wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning every day and get in my studio. I don't go to sleep till like maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, I do this shit every day. I quit my job to do this shit full time. You know, so now I'm actually making money off my music and stuff. So I'm loving it. Well, dude, it's something that I want to do. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Well, dude, I definitely wish you all the best, bro. In your music, but also fucking bridging that sort of disconnect, bro. Yeah. The disconnect, Joe, bro. The disconnect, bro, and that's where we like. That's where our platforms sort of cross. Is that we're trying to fucking bridge that gap. So thank you, bro, once again. And next time it'll be in my studio.
Oh yeah,
and back home.
And I'll be talking about some whole other shit. Cause I'll know now. You feel me? I'll know.
All right, dude. So yeah, this is sort of a different way I've done the podcast, and so if you're watching at home and on YouTube or listening, thanks for listening. Peace.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening to this episode of the podcast. Joe Danzy, right? Very interesting guy. I can't wait to talk to him again and get more perspective on what it's like to be a Chamorro growing up in the mainland, born and raised. Very, very just interesting topic that just blows my mind every time, and I feel like I need to have more conversations about it to fully understand exactly what's going on. I just like to give a special shout out to our sponsors. Moses Joint, serving up the island's best chow, happy hours, and vibes wrapped into one package. No discount codes, but I'll be giving away some stuff. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm getting there. Also, 2 Dimension Systems, providing the best computer and IT solutions on the island since 1987. 31 years, people. To Stroll Guam, use the code MASTERGU and get $10 off your next ride. And last but not least, Tommy's Pizza, where you can seriously eat good New York style pizza in Guam, made local with love. So go eat good pizza. Don't forget to support us on Patreon. Whatever you like to donate, feel free. It's It's all up to you. You can literally become the podcast and watch us grow. If you're listening to this on iTunes, give the podcast a rating. That'll be super dope. And thanks again for being the baddest.